Folks, in this video, you're about to learn a fully mechanical fake-out trading strategy that I've fully automated as part of my Robot Lab Live community. So what that means is we're also going to dive into back tests that stretch back to 2018 and see how this thing performed. You're going to be really surprised at the results we managed to get out of this. And also, if you stick around to the end, I'm going to show you the settings used in the bot and even give you a version to play with. So folks, before we dive in, let's hear how I'm getting on my Blue Guardian prop firm challenge and then dive into the show. Before we dive in, folks, I'm taking my sponsor Blue Guardian's prop firm challenge, the 100k challenge. I've been doing it for a while now. You can see here the chart of last week's trades in front of you. Yes, 43 trades, a lot. So I actually started off at minus 2.6 on the account, and I did bring it back up to almost 3% in profit, and then I had I fell apart and brought it all the way back down to where I started before pulling myself together and getting a couple of wins to end up the week at minus 0.6. So I did grow the account, even though it felt like a losing week for me. The account did grow. Now, if you're looking to take your own Blue Guardian challenge, hey, they got realistic targets, 4 and 8%, and there's no restrictions. They've got the Guardian Protector, which is kind of unique, a huge profit split of 85%, bi-weekly payouts, and their scaling plan takes you up to $2 million. Now, folks, if you do want to take up a Blue Guardian challenge, there's a link in the description with coupon code TradingNut, all one word. You're going to save 10% off at checkout. Okay, so this is the diagram provided by Christian. So Christian, thanks for providing the strategy. It was fantastic of you, and thank you for that awesome breakdown that you gave. So you can see here these little arrows are our fractals that we can actually adapt with the bot. So it doesn't really matter which fractal you pick. We can adapt, to pretty much find any fractal you want in the bot. So these are the fractals we're looking for. So we're looking for, once we've got a fractal, for price to break above it, and we've even added in times as well. So we only want it to break above at a certain time and then look for an entry. If that happens, then we get in. So in this case here, we get a break above, we get a close below, and you enter the trade. Stop loss in this instance is just above the high. We go for a set number of R. Or you could, for example, target the other fractal and get out here. So that's kind of really how it works. I mean, you can see here another buy example. If we just flip it over, you've got that fractal point there. We come in, we actually penetrated there with the wick, close above, get in, and we're looking to go long. If your stop was at the low of the candle, unfortunately you stopped out, but if you had it a bit further afield, you would have had a nice move up. So we actually have had to play with stop losses as well. So that's the strategy in a nutshell. So you can filter it with time of day, a whole bunch of other things. I mean, this is just one view of it. So we've actually dived in and had a look at different ways to trade it, and you're going to see one particular way today and how I've managed to get some decent results out of it. So let's dive in and have a look at what the bot is actually taking and how it's replicating this kind of this approach here. I'm going to go through a couple of trades here just to show you how the bot's finding it. So what we're doing is looking for a specific fractal. In this case, that happens here. It closes below that fractal. So it penetrates it, closes below. That's where we get into a short. And unfortunately, the short lost. So let's have a look at the next trade. So this is a win. So what we're doing, and we're only entering at a certain time of day with this particular strategy, the settings, here. So we've got a fractal, which I'm guessing is either going to be this one. It's hard to tell when you're actually just looking at the bot, or yes, probably this one actually. So we break it, penetrate, then we wait till the time of day, which actually kicks in here, and we're still in the valid situation where we've broken it and we've come back in. So at that point, we enter our trade and we get in. So this one here, I'm pretty sure it's there. It broke that there, and then when the time of day, which was in this case was 1 o'clock, kicked in, we still broke it because it doesn't see that, and we're basically in the trade. So that was a good win. And then I think the next trade was a win as well on the buy side, and we'll probably just end it, or we might have a look at one more. So same kind of deal. That's your low there. Now this is probably out of the time. It was only looking at 1 o'clock, so it ignored that, went back here and going, okay, that's our level, right, we are valid, let's go for a long. We've just closed in the right side at the right time. So we've got one more as a loss. Let's have another look at another win. So here, this one's probably a bit cleaner. So we've got, actually it's probably still this level here that we got broken, because I'm looking when that fractal's too small. That level here got broken. Now this wasn't the right time. 1 o'clock kicks in. We get in here when we close. I think it would have been this one here actually, close below, and your stop in this case is an ATR. But so why did it enter up there? Well, that's probably your spread. It's CHF, CAD CHF, so not the tightest spread pair. So yeah, it's probably 1.2 pip spread that's kept you up there. And it is a back test, so this isn't necessarily the real life environment. I'm trying to find a one that matches. Now this one here matches, right? So that is definitely the level. We break above it, and we get in here when we close back below. So we do wait a certain number of candles when we're in, well, in this case it's a bit different because we're just doing a timed window. So this 1 p.m. time zone here, which is like kind of like whatever that, 1 hour is when we're actually going to get in. So this is kind of perfect because, well, actually maybe it's not. I think one o'clock candle starts here, then we've got this candle, then we've got this one. So it ignores that touch there, but it knows that high is above there. And then it knows we're in the right time. We've closed below it. Great. Let's go in for that winning 3-hour trade. Now, these are all fixed 3-hour. So that's how I've done it. So let's dive in and have a look at some of these backtest results. All right, folks, let's start off with having a look at Christian's test. So this was the guy that provided the strategy. You can see here he's done all right over the course of, this was, I think, a couple of weeks ago in March. So, yeah, 11th of March here. So he's done all right. He's made 11% with these settings. Now, whether or not that was robust across many years, I'm not too sure. So what I've done is come up with my own results. You're going to see here some tests. Now, bear in mind, they're not fantastic as individually, but once you combine them as a portfolio, we can actually get quite a good result. So I'm going to show you them quickly. Just looking at the chart here, they're kind of all upward sloping curves. There's quite a few of them. And what we've done is combine them. And I'm going to show you the end of the result once we combine them and do a little tweaking with this portfolio to show you how this thing could look going forward. Okay, so what I've done is put them in Quant Analyzer, which is a tool that gives you the ability to try a few things out. So what we're able to do here is chuck this in, have a look at what this combined portfolio looks like. So all of a sudden, instead of those, jaggedy curves that we had down the bottom here, this starts to become quite a nice looking equity curve that's got some dips. Yeah, it's got some dips, but we might be able to fix that. And I'll show you how we can do that in a second. So looking at this trade analysis, you can see here that November and December are not great months. Also June isn't, but just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to get rid of November and December. We could also get rid of June without any issues. Even August looked kind of, marginal. It could have been a losing month. But just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to get rid of those 2 months and show you what the end result is, which is this thing here. So if we double click on that, you can see here now November and December are removed. And if we go back to the equity chart, you can see these flat lines here are basically those months have been removed. So all those trades that were taken in that period of time were essentially the big dips that you saw in this equity curve. So now it actually starts to look really robust. Now, what we haven't done is built in that monthly filter into the bot, but let's dive in and have a look at some of the settings that we've done already, and we probably will build that in this coming week given this information I've just discovered. So let's dive into those settings. All right, folks, let's dive into the settings of the bot. Now, if you do pick up the free version of the bot, come back here and have a look at this to remind you of how it works. Even if you pick up the full version, this is probably going to be a good reminder of the settings, even though we will enhance them slightly after this video is released. So let's dive in. Start off with, this controls if you want to go long, short, or take both long and short. So if you just want to go short, you'll make that 2. If you want to go long, make it 1. So the next one is fractals. So these 3 settings here control looking for the fractals that we talked about earlier. So a fractal ID 2 with an end point 3 is going to be something like this, where that is 0.2 and that's 0.3. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So if you think of it like that, that's how you sort of build up your fractal. So if we were going to make that, let's say 3 and 5, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that would be your 5th part of the fractal. Okay, so we're going to look back 50 candles. Okay, so that's what this fractal loop is. So if you want to look back for fractals that are miles away in the past, then increase that number. Now, it will probably slow down your bot. Next thing is the setup wait candles. So what does this mean? So you can see here we had a setup. Let's just get our painter tool on here. So with the setups, we broke that fractal at this point here. Now, what we're going to do is wait 3 candles before we get in. So this is 1 candle, 2 candle, 3 candles. So if that actually closes a bear, this candle here closes a bear down there, then we probably would have gotten at that candle. So after the 3 candles, this whole thing becomes invalid and it says, no, we don't want that fractal anymore, forget the setup. Okay, but we did get that entry here, which means we got in. Now, the next setting is the risk loss percent. So this is going to determine how much you risk. Now, the version that you're going to get will be restricted. So I'm only going to give you like 0.01, which means you don't get a percentage view of how it works. So that's going to be set to 0.01. So the full version will get unlimited control, do whatever you want. Now, the stop loss, there are a few different things with the stop loss. So you can see here, this is the last one. The first one's up here. So stop loss buffer pips, this is going to be a buffer on whatever stop loss you set. So if you want a buffer of, let's say, 2 pips, just go 2, and that's how that works. Now, the minimum stop loss pips and the maximum stop loss pips is going to stop you from getting into trades where the candle is humongous. So if you've got a huge candle that pushes and basically wipes out most of the move, you can sort of either, or a very small candle which is insignificant, you can trim that out and make sure your stop loss is big enough or not too small and not too big. So I've got 25 and 5 pips here. So that's what you can do to control the size of your stop loss. This one here is the actual stop loss. So if you want to use the high or low of the candle, so if we look at this one here, if you had your high or low set, then the stop loss would be up here. If you turn that to false and then turn that to true, then, and bear in mind, you can only have one of these set at a time unless you want 2 trades to trigger at the same time. Then, yes, so setting that to true is going to use an ATR for a period of whatever ATR you want, and then a multiple. So if you just say like ATR 1, it's going to take like the height of that candle, so the range of that candle. So 1 and 1 is the range of that candle. 1 and 1.5 is 1.5 times the range of that candle. Okay, so you can actually just work on one candle if you want using the ATR. 14 ATRs, taking the range of the 14 candles and doing some calculation on it to then do 1.5 times that. So there's a bit of flexibility there with your stop loss. The other one is the stop loss swing. So this would be, in this case here, we've got, what we'll do is close that. So let's just take, for example, say we got into a trade here for whatever reason, and we had the swing setting on. What that would mean is your stop loss would go up the top here instead of at the top of the, so say that was your entry candle there. Okay, so it's going to extend it out to this level here, the swing high of a certain number of candles. Now let's have a look at that, those settings, so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So there we go. So stop loss swing, if we set that to true, then it's how many bars do you want to look back to determine your swing. So 5 bars would have grabbed that one there most probably and given you your stop loss way up there, which means, you know, if for whatever reason price does break the high there, there's a chance it may not get as high as that. Okay, so exits. Now we've got a fixed take profit by R. So if you have a stop loss, let's just use this example here. So if you did have that swing stop loss, you got in there, that was your stop loss. So 3 times that box, let's just guess, is going to take you down there. So that's going to be a 3R trade, right? So if we set 3R, that's what we're going to be exiting at. So that's the only exit rule we've built in here. We may build some more. There has been talk about trying to get an exit at the lows here where the price swing is, but it kind of didn't look that great when we looked into it. But it may be enhanced further with this bot in the next couple of sessions that we do. So anyway, end of day close. So this is an exit here. If you turn that to true, you're trading, if you're trading lower time frames, you may want to exit all trades at the end of the day. So you can set whatever that time is on your broker to get out of that trade. Now, time filters, we're probably going to add in the month filters in here and the weekday filters as well. So it's currently just got time. There are 3 blocks of time. This is the first block here. Now, this controls, you don't need to turn anything on. This will be on all the time. So this is currently saying don't trade that big hour at the start where there's high spread, and then close or don't take any trades going into that big hour where there's high spread. Now, if you did want to have a second time block, you can turn on time 2, and we just toggle that to true. Now, what you'd probably want to do is go, oh, we only want to trade 1 to 4 o'clock, right? 1 to 4 o'clock. And then the second time block, we're going to trade 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. London Open kind of thing. So this is, and then you don't have a third time. So you're only trading these 2 periods of time. So that's how your time settings work. You have got a third one if you do want to add in a third one. And then at the bottom here, we've got this opt hour, right? So you'll probably want to toggle that to false. Opt hour is just a way to optimize to find the best hour that this thing trades, or across lots of different markets. Probably best to have a look at the videos in the course as to how that works, but it's a bit of a hack that I do. I can now just go 1 to 23 here when I'm running the optimizer in MetaTrader 5, and it will go through and do all the markets and just check what if, like in this case, hour 1 of the day, or it could be hour 10 of the day, which markets make money if trades are entered in that hour of the day, which markets don't, and then you can go, well, okay, let's do some work on that from there. So that's for optimizing, if you want to dive into that as well. Whether or not that's going to be in the free version, I'm not too sure. We'll see. But yeah, you're definitely going to get the rest of it to have a bit of a play with yourself. All right, folks, now how do you get these versions? So first up, if you do want the full version, then you're going to get not just the full version, but you're also going to get access to the whole development cycle that we went through, voting on the strategy. So you're going to learn the other strategy that we voted on. You're going to see how I built it. We go into this, I think, 5 videos so far. We're dropping a 6th this week, so there'll be another video here of testing. So you can see here there's downloads along the way. We've got, this is the version that you're looking at now, so you will get that full version and all the videos seeing exactly how I built it using FX Streamer, which you can see here. This is the actual build, the nuts and bolts, and you'll be able to get the source code to that if you are a Robot Builders Club member, and even import it into your own version of FX Streamer and then have a play with it, tweak it, etc. So that's how it works. But if you do want to sign up and get the full version, whatever we end up finishing this off as, so we're probably going to add in those months, as I said, we're probably going to add in weekdays, we may add in some other things, then yeah, you can get it on this page here, which is, I'll link it up under the video, Robot Lab Live. You can see here there are a few other bots in here, that ICT bot, some of them are doing okay, like, so this one was one of build 53, this was kind of a unique build, it's just bought back some of the profits in the weekend, and then this one here is looking pretty good in terms of its stability, albeit it's not been huge growth. So yeah, be interested to see how this one goes with the settings I've found, and we're still going to carry on testing this, so there could be even more settings that we find. We've only literally just scraped the surface of it. Hey folks, what a view behind me. I'm at BLACKBULL Markets headquarters here in Auckland, New Zealand. Speaking of views, you can get TradingView paid plans for free at BLACKBULL Markets, saving you up to $600 a year. That's right, get either the Essential, Plus or Premium plans absolutely free, and all you need to do is trade from one lot a month at BLACKBULL Markets. And you can also get a 100% deposit bonus for your first deposit up to $1,000. All you need to do is click the Trading Nut link in the description below. Okay, and to get your free version of the bot, then there'll be a link under the video here. We're going to call it tradingnut.com/fakeout bot. You'll see it on the screen here. Go and type it in, go and click it, head over there, put your name, email address in, and you'll get free access to the limited lots version of this bot. So that just means the lot size can't be changed. All right, folks, and if you do want access to the full version, remember, you're going to get not just the full version of the bot, you're also going to get to possibly even dive into one of the final sessions we do on this bot, see all the videos, see how I built it out, and if you join my Robot Builders Club, you're actually going to get the source code that you can import into your own version of FX Streamer and have a play with, and the skills you need to change and develop this bot. All right, folks, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.